betraying you. What is actually happening is that there is a man called Elisha. Everlasting. You and no one can. We are here to worship you. Jesus' mighty name. Advantages and disadvantages. First of all, I want to start by talking about the digital nature of God. Are we together? And please, let me beg you that I am used to something. Where I am coming from, whenever a pastor is talking or someone is teaching, people are always quiet. But I realized that since I came, there has been a lot of noise. Even while I was sitting behind, I was sitting over there, I was hearing a lot of noise, and it's really not good. It's not telling a good, or it's not giving a good report of you. If someone is talking and you're talking at the same time, it's a sign of disrespect, and you are simply saying that what the person is saying is not important. And so that is not a good attitude. So I beg you not to be distracted, but to stay calm and listen to what God has to say. Remember, you are here for a reason, and don't allow yourself to be distracted. As we do so, the Lord Almighty will bless us in Jesus' name. Now, because of time, I've had some few scriptures that I want to read, but I'll just mention those scriptures so that you can go and read them later on. We're talking about social media, the advantages and disadvantages. And before I talk about that, I want to talk about the digital nature of God. Some people think that God is outdated. Some people think that God needs to be upgraded. But let me tell you that God cannot be upgraded, because God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. So when we look at 2024 that is yet to come, God is already there. When you look at 2025 that is yet to come, God is already there. When you think about 2050, before then there will be a lot of changes. The phones that we are using, by then they will be outdated. But let me tell you that God is already in 2015 waiting for you. So God does not need to be upgraded. God is the one that is upgrading us. God's wisdom and knowledge is always correct and what? And current. So the God that we serve is the God that is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And so God is still the most digital person on earth, because he's the same today, yesterday, and forever. Now, from the passages I wanted to read, Mark chapter 11 from verse 12 down to verse 20. If you read that passage, you realize that there was a time that Jesus went to a fig tree and he wanted to get a fruit from the fig tree. And when he got there, he discovered that the fig tree was, fruitless. And so he spoke to the fig tree and said, "May no one ever pick a fruit from you." And the next day when they were passing, they discovered that that fig tree had dried from its root. And so what does that tell you? It means that God has connections with his creator. Because social media is about interaction. It's about connecting with someone, where you share ideas, where you share information, where you communicate, whether pictures, images, or whatever. But God is also digital, in the sense that whenever God speaks, the things that he created hear him. When God was creating trees, he created trees with ears. And so when he speaks, trees hear him. And that is why Jesus spoke and said, "May no one ever pick a fruit from you." And immediately the tree heard what God was saying, and the tree was dry. Why? Because God is digital. When God was creating rain, he created rain with ears. And so when it is raining, and God said, "Hey, rain, stop," the rain will hear, and the rain will what? Stop. Do you know why? Because God is digital. Are you listening to me? God is a God of communication. And even wind, when he's creating wind, he created the winds with ear. When he's creating mountain, he created mountains with what? With ears. And so anytime God speaks, everything hear him. And that was why Jesus, when there was wind, he said, "Wind, be still." The wind heard him, and the wind was still. Because God is what? God is digital. The animals and all the things that God created, If God speaks, they will hear, including you. You have ears. So God is what? Is a digital God. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about God is actually the ability of God to hear long distance communication. You know, before phones came, you cannot communicate with someone except through letter. You have to write a letter to the person, but now with the coming of phone, you can call the person and then the person will pick your call and you communicate. But let me tell you that even before phones were created, God gave a prophet in the Bible called Elisha. God gave him the ability to hear what people are discussing from afar. If you read the book of 2 Kings chapter 6, from verse 8 downward, you will see where a king was planning, was making a plot. He will sit down and arrange that we want to kill the king of Israel. We want to do this and this and that. Elisha will be seated in his room and he will be hearing what the king is saying. And anytime the king makes his plan, Elisha will bring a counter plan. It got to a level where the king suspected that one of his men was giving out information. But one of his servants said, no, none of us is betraying you. What is actually happening is that there is a man called Elisha, and whatever you are discussing, whether in your bedroom, the man is hearing. Why? It is because God is what? Digital. And he gave Elisha the ability to hear what people are discussing wherever they are. So when we talk about digitality, it actually started from God. And people are now mimicking God. Right now, God has a technology that he accesses the heart of every man. When you are lying, God will know. When you are saying the truth, he will know. Because he has a device to access the heart of every man. But we don't have that technology yet. But we hope that maybe one day we will get there. So the God that we serve is a very, very digital God. So we cannot upgrade him. Rather, he is the one that is upgrading us, changing our lives, packaging us, making us better people, making us better in every way, our clothes, our dresses, and everything. Some of you, if you go back to when you are 2 years old, 3 years old, and if you see the picture, you'll be laughing. It is God that has upgraded you up to this level. And he will be the one that will keep you upgraded. He will keep upgrading you until the day you finally die. So the God that we serve is the same yesterday, today, and forever. He can never be upgraded. He is too big to be upgraded. Are we together? So God is digital. Now, I want to talk about the advantages. I will just mention few, and then I'll focus more on disadvantages of social media. Now, the social media are plenty: Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and so many. They are just plenty. All right? So, what are the advantages? First, okay, before I talk about advantages and disadvantages, let me explain to you the nature of social media, how social media works. Social media has 3 groups of people. Some of you don't know whether you are Facebooking. Let me see, how many of you are on Facebook here? If you are on Facebook, can I see your hand up? Just put up your hand. I will not ask you questions. If you are on Facebook, let me see your hand up. Okay, we have many people. Okay, if you are on WhatsApp, can I see your hand up? Okay. Okay, how many of you are on TikTok? Oh, plenty. Okay, so that means we are current. You understand what I'm talking about. Okay, social media is actually divided into 3. The first group of people are those who created the particular social media handle you are using. Whether it's Facebook, whether it's WhatsApp, whether it is TikTok, whatever. There are people that manufactured it. And these people are the ones that are controlling everything that is happening. They are the ones that are giving updates. They are upgrading for example, Facebook. You will notice that every day, Facebook is being upgraded. They are upgrading it every day. Sometimes you enter, you will see new features. Like WhatsApp right now, there is something you can do, and then you send the message to someone, and the person will just see the message once. After the person has seen the message, he cannot see it again. For example, if I want to send you a picture, there's something I can do on WhatsApp. Like if you are sending it now, the place you are sending, you will see the right one. Press that place, you will see it will turn to 2. And once it is 2, if you send the message, the person will just see it. They call it flash message. The person will see the picture once. The person cannot download it. The person cannot screenshot. And once the person open it and see it, after some time, it will disappear. Do you understand? So they are the ones upgrading the social media handle every day. Now, apart from them, there is another group of people, they call them social media influencers. These are the people that have the largest followers on social media. And so they influence the mindset of people, they control people. One person can have like up to 100 or 200 followers. And so the person is not the one that invented the social media, but because of the power or because of the people he has gathered, he now has the ability to influence and control their mindset. For example, who can give me an example of social media influencer you know? Someone that is very popular on social media, Facebook. Oh, there are plenty. It means you know them. Let me give you one example. Cristiano Ronaldo. You know him, right? He's one of the most powerful social media influencers. He controls people, and there are many more. You know, Wizkid is there. Davido is there, right? There are many. They just control people. Now, for example, let me tell you how powerful they are. There was a time that Cristiano Ronaldo was having a press conference, and then they brought Coca-Cola and they put it in his front. And you know, Ronaldo doesn't like Coca-Cola. The only thing he takes is water. As they put the Coca-Cola before him, he removed the bottle and keep it behind. And then he brought water and he put it there. Do you know what happened? Immediately after that, Coca-Cola lost about $4 billion. Why? Because Ronaldo refused to approve Coca-Cola, so he removed it and then he kept it aside. And people stopped buying Coca-Cola immediately. They have to go and beg him. So this is how powerful these people are. Unfortunately, they control your life. They control many things. If they start wearing short knicker to church and they post it online, before you know it, you will discover that our youth will begin to come to church with short knickers. Because they are controlled by social media influencers. So that is the second group. The third group are consumers. And that is you and me. We have the producers. And then we have content creators. And we have the consumers. And so you are their customers. I hope you know that if you're on social media, you're a customer. They are making money through you. And the reason they are making money through you is because you must have data before you enter. And so that data you are loading, the money is going to them. So without you, Facebook cannot make money. And so they have to do whatever they can do to keep you. And so that is why they keep on bringing new things. Do you notice that Facebook or WhatsApp or whatever is so appealing? They are working every day. They study what you like, and then they'll push it to you. See, those people who own every social media you are operating, they are studying you. If they notice that you like cake, they are tracking what you are browsing. They will begin to send you cakes. If they notice that you like cars, any website that has to do with car, you like it, they will begin to send cars to you. If they notice that you are a man that like women, they will begin to send men to you, women to you. Why? Because they are tracking. They are studying everything you are doing. So if, for example, you are watching porn on social media, they know. So anytime you go there, you will see plenty of porn because they know you like it, and so they send it to you. So they are tracking you. They know what you are browsing, and so they study us wherever we like. That is what they will be sending to us so that we will be clicking. Because the more clicks, the more money. So we are their customers. We are making them rich. But God will help us in Jesus' name. One advantage, I will just talk about one, and then I'll go to disadvantages because of time. One advantage of social media is the access to what? To information. Now, because of social media, you have access to information. Now, because of social media, you can actually learn whatever you want to learn. If you want to learn, for example, about leadership, you can actually go there and download good materials. You can read them and they will give you what? Understanding. For example, you want to learn about communication, you want to learn about anything, you want to learn how to make cake, whatever you want to learn, you can just go to social media, you can go to Google, and then you get information. And this information can actually help you. It has also helped us to learn more about the Word of God. For example, there's a Bible app they call YouVersion. YouVersion app is one of the best and one of the most popular Bible, apps that people use. They call it YouVersion. If you don't have it, you are missing. Because U version, you can go to your Play Store later on and download it. Just type U version, U, Y-O-U, then version. It will appear. In that U version, every week there's a verse of the day. There are videos, there are many things, there are lessons about loss, there are lessons about obedience, there are many things you can learn. So social media has the capacity to increase our spirituality. You can go to YouTube, for example. If you want to learn about anything, you can just type it and there will be messages there. You can listen and they will aid your spiritual growth. In fact, if you listen and you do not understand, you can go back and listen and listen and listen until you are satisfied. So that is one of the beauty of social media. Not just audio, video, visuals, and many other things. But because of time, let me just talk about the disadvantages. One disadvantage of social media is that it has made many young people slaves to something they call loan apps. How many of you know it? Loan apps. Now, these loan apps are apps they advertise to you when you go to social media. They advertise to you. They tell you that you can actually borrow money now. All right? And when you borrow that money, many young people are right now under this bondage. They will go there, they will borrow the money, and then they will give you timeline. And when the timeline elapses and you are not able to pay back, they will send you another app. They will tell you, okay, borrow from this app to pay. Then you go and borrow and settle this one. And as this one, the time is elapsing, you are not able to pay. They will tell you, they will introduce you to another app. And that is how you will be going. Before you know it, you become a heavy debtor. And the money, you did not use it. Let me tell you that in our church, I have a case that I'm handling right now. The lady is not a man. The lady collected plenty loan, up to 50 million. I am telling you. She kept borrowing until the debt became too much. In fact, she wanted to commit suicide. It was in the bed of suicide that they caught her, and then she explained that this is what she's facing. And so the parents have to start selling their property to pay the money. The lands they bought, the businesses they were selling to pay. After they finished paying, they found out that there was another debt of 10 million again. You are shouting, some of you, that is what you are doing. And so this is one of the disadvantages. So I want to beg you, if we are here, if you see loan app, don't go close to it. If you try it, you are going to run yourself down. You will run your parents down. And if you are not careful, they will curse you. Because how can you imagine, this person I'm talking about, the parents have already retired. The money they have worked hard to get all these years, the investment they have made, they now have to do what? They have to sell it to settle this debt. And if you do not pay, what they will do is that they will look for your picture and your name, and they will send it to all your contacts. They will put it on social media. They will say that this person is a criminal. Why? Because he refused to pay that debt. So that is one of the problems we have in the digital age. We say we are digital youth, but we also have digital problem. So that is one of the disadvantages. Disadvantages number 2. Social media brings hopelessness and depression. Hopelessness and what? Depression. Now, many of you spend time on social media. You scroll Facebook from top to down, and then you refresh. You start again from top to what? Bottom, like APC. All right? Top to bottom. Then you keep doing that. And then when you watch all those things, you are excited, you are happy. Eventually, some people, it is their battery that will run down before they will leave their phone. Some people, it's hunger that will chase them out of Facebook. And then what happens is that the things you are watching, as beautiful as they are, when you log out, you discover that your life here is ugly. You are seeing beautiful things on social media. Fine rooms, fine girls, fine cars, fine houses. When you log out of Facebook, what you will see is different, and then you become depressed. And so, because if you spend too much time browsing, looking at many things on social media, and you stay there doing nothing, at the end of the day, you become depressed. You will become depressed because, number one, you will lose your thought. Number one, you will become lazy. Number three, you become mumu. Those who use social media too much become mumu. Mumus. Let me explain to you how it works. If you use social media too much, it is distracting your brain. It is making your thoughts to be unfocused. It is difficult for someone who is using social media too much to stay for 30 minutes and talk without distraction. Do you know why? Because your brain is getting used to social media. In social media, you are not checking one thing. You are checking many things at the same time. In fact, in one sitting, you can click like up to 5,000 things. Because you are clicking. You move from this side to this side. You enter Facebook. You go to TikTok. You go to WhatsApp. As you keep doing that, your brain keeps following you. And so after you have dropped the phone, your brain will not be settled. Your brain will still be moving from one place to another. And that is why some of you cannot choose rightly. Because your brain doesn't have the capacity to critically sit down and think. So what social media is doing to you is that it is learning to teach your brain to be scattered, to be unfocused, and to be distracted all the time. Why? Because you keep moving from one website to another. You keep watching plenty videos. If they ask you how many videos have you watched, you cannot remember, but you cannot stop. It is affecting your thoughts, and because of that, many young people are now becoming mumus. You see them, they look smart, but they are not smart. They will look smart outwardly, but mentally they are not smart. Because social media is what? Is dealing with them and is making their thought to be unfocused and distracted. And some of you, even when it comes to issue of finance, you cannot make a sound decision. When it comes to issue of life partner, you cannot make a sound decision. Because your brain keeps moving from one place to another. Let me tell you that what I'm telling you is not stories. I have been a victim of this. There was a time that I was addicted to Facebook. I was on Facebook 24/7. I got to a level that I lost myself. And I said, I need deliverance. But the deliverance is not demons. Deliverance is from my mind. I have to go offline for some times. Even though it was not easy, but I had to do it. And I did it, and I discovered that my brain was coming back to me. I discovered that I was gaining control and mastery over my brain rather than allowing it to control me. So that's one of the disadvantages. One other